Recently, I played through Gears of War What? It's just called Gears 5 now? They dropped the of War from the title? When did they do that? This is the first one? They changed the title of the series 5 games in? Okay. The following is a completely accurate summary of the campaign. Trust me. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. The game begins with a quick recap of Gears 4 because nobody played it. The main characters are accused of kidnapping settlers and start a war with the COG, except it was actually the Locust... What? They're not called the Locust anymore, either? It's Swarm now, okay? The Swarm kidnapped Kate's mom, so the group calls Marcus, to help them rescue her. But the COG blow up Marcus's tomatoes, and he gets tentacle hentied, so the group has to rescue him too. They rescue Marcus, and it's revealed that the Swarm are kidnapping people to turn them into more Swarm. Except for Kate's mom, who's the new Swarm Queen. So Kate kills her and gets her necklace, which actually belonged to the Locust Queen from the original games. And now you're all caught up, hope you were paying attention. The game cuts to a credits slideshow showing what happens when you don't drink water for over a week, so don't forget to hydrate. And now we get to... oh good god, what's wrong with everyone's heads? Kate, JD, and Michael Dell are flying to an island and the camera pans over to... Dave Bautista? What? What the hell's going on? I know that's not right. Kate's having trouble sleeping because of evil headaches, and the crew is worried because she's forgetting simple things like strapping on her harness so she doesn't plummet to her death jumping out of a helicopter. You know, everyday stuff. We're also introduced to Dave, the robot. Not Dave Bautista, another Dave, you understand. We make our way inside of an old facility and fight some Swarm where, good god, what is that sound? It's the weapons? What? Here's our first buddy door. There's a lot of these in this game. This one's not specifically a door, but the rest of them are. We fight through some more Swarm and I get chainsawed in half. So we do it again, and this time I do the chainsawing. We take a hatch to a tunnel and some Russian subway commuters want to trade for our bullets, so we let them have some for free. After taking a slide and pressing E to duck under a small hole, we struggle our way through more Swarm, and press E to wander deeper inside the facility and open a buddy door to a control room for the Hammer of Dawn, that dubstep laser from the first game. Dave forcefully inserts himself into the satellite controls and initiates launch, but the blast doors are stuck and Baird suggests that everyone should get a safe distance away. So of course JD decides that they should do the exact opposite because he's suicidal. JD fixes the blast doors and we run back to safety before the rocket launches, and Dave gets attacked by a Russian so we leave him to die, but he manages to make it through the doors in the nick of time. The crew heads back to Ba Sing Se and we find out that the robot head lady from the Gears of War 4 recap wants to yell at us, so Dave Bautista lets us know that he'll try to talk her down so she doesn't rant at us too hard. We meet up with Baird, the asshole from the first game, and his virtual waifu Iris, and Dave commits suicide so we lie to Baird and he gives us a new Jack, an improved version of that robot that floats around and opens doors in the other games. Baird complains at us and scares Jack, but he's right. We die a lot in this game. We go through a quick training module and meet Foz, who's an asshole for no reason, so we beat him. Cut to the conversation between Dave and Robot Head Lady, who is now regular Head Lady, which definitely doesn't end with Dave talking her down because they're both assholes. Our bitching out is interrupted by Carmine, the only one to survive a Gears of War game, who needs help because his town is under attack, so we're sent to help. The coal train is with us and takes a look outside, but we get shot down by Doug Bowser and JD and the coal train get stuck under a helicopter, so I have to wait for Seth and Sky to come get me. Emphasis on wait. After they finally help me out, we make our way through a buddy door and press E to duck under a small hole where we meet Lizzie Carmine, who smashes a tentacle monster into a truck because she's a badass.
Never mind, Control. I took care of it. DBs, we gotta secure this street!
We help her clear out the bad guy parade, and Foz acts like an asshole some more, and it's revealed that Foz and JD killed a bunch of civilians in this town, and this isn't one of my usual murder jokes, that's actually just part of the plot. The coal train's got our back, though. We press E to enter the next area and defend his own for a while before Foz says something stupid that immediately happens for comedic effect, and we kill the tentacle monster to catch back up with Carmine's. Because this game has no chill, we're immediately attacked by a swarm of flying leeches that take over the robots because the only thing worse than fighting robots is fighting robot zombies. Our extraction gets shot down, so we head out to see if anyone survived, but we're not quite sure what to do, so we run into an inferno and that works out well. After figuring out that all we had to do was have Jack splooge on us, we run through the fire with no problem. Nobody survived the crash, so we murder some tourists and take a stroll through the park, and go through a buddy door into a hotel, where we murder some guests and then press E to get into a birthday party to murder the partygoers, so that we can take another buddy door to fight a leech tornado, and then take another buddy door back outside. We disband another parade and try to enter a theater, but Sky and Seth's games decide to crash, so I have to go inside on my own. After regrouping, we take a buddy door to backstage, where we start our own rendition of Put that thing back where it came from or so help me, but the audience wasn't very receptive since they were all dead. We're told the town is a complete loss and Lizzie heads over to pick us up, and Foz and the Coltrane buddy door their way inside and Doug Bowser shows up. So we pop some of his zits for a bit until Coltrane runs off to find a motorcycle that he rigs up with grenades and feeds to Bowser, so we blow his head off. Foz acts like a dick again and drops the bomb that JD was actually the one who ordered fire on the civilians that one time, and everyone gets all melodramatic before Lizzie catches up, but we're ambushed by a bunch of backup Bowsers, so JD runs out to use himself as a targeting beacon, and Barrett activates the dubstep laser on the town. After destroying half the town, they lose connection to the laser, and it continues firing randomly, which would have been fine if the evacuation had actually evacuated anybody, but Lizzie and JD are caught in the blast, and JD will recover, but Lizzie is a Carmine, so she dies. 4 months later, the crew is dropped off in Bone Town, and Kate continues having evil headaches. After changing into dumber outfits, we wander through the town, and Kate has some visions of evil things happening, but that's totally normal behavior, so she decides not to tell anyone about it. We catch up with Oscar the Grouch, which I hope you remember from that Gears 4 flashback, because he was an important character in that game. Oscar and Kate argue about fighting the swarm, and he wanders inside to put on his big head, and the town is attacked because actually playing the game is way more fun than watching a melodrama for 10 minutes. We try to open a buddy door, but a tentacle monster shows up and hentais Kate, and I start hallucinating that I'm an enemy as if I needed any more reason to want to shoot my own teammates. After hallucinating myself into bigger and bigger enemies, I finally hallucinate into one that I can't control, and I grab Oscar and murder him because he hasn't been paying rent on his garbage can. JD shows up, but he's looking a lot worse than normal, which is actually what he looks like normally here and not some stupid costume that we put on. Kate finally admits that she's having evil nightmares, and Dave Bautista points us in the direction of some old research facility in bumfuck nowhere that might be able to help us out. We ride a skip around for a while and press E to enter a snowstorm, and then press E again to make Kate have an evil headache. After running through the snowstorm, we buddy boost our way up a wall, and kill a theater actor so we can get inside through a buddy door. We wander around the facility that was apparently part of one of the previous Gears of War games, but honestly I played them once before and that was over 10 years ago, so cut me a little slack if I don't remember what this is. We murdered the blue glasses guy from Rainbow Six Siege and opened a buddy gate into a splooge zone full of robot zombies that we sneak through with absolutely no problems whatsoever. I'm stuck! I'm being gangbanged!
No, watch this. I'm just gonna melee all of them, they're gonna die. Okay, well, I died. Oh, get another one! You wanna go? Yes, alright. Sit down, idiot. Okay, wait. Okay, he sent me down.
After going through a buddy door and fighting a leech tornado, we go through another buddy door and fall through the ground into a prison where it's revealed that the evil scientist that ran the place was eviler than we had originally anticipated. We take an elevator ladder. Alright, I know I've made this joke before in other videos because of a slip-up in Gears 1, but this is literally an elevator ladder. I catch up to Niles Crane from Frasier, who is pretty much on par with how much of a pompous jackass he was in that show. We're attacked by a leech tornado and the facility begins to self-destruct, so we break our way out and back through the splooge zone to escape. We ride the skip some more and drown each other a few times, before coming across a buddy door into a dumb puzzle that takes way too long even when you're doing it correctly. After taking the skiff to the next area, we press E to enter another snowstorm, and then do that again because this game really wants to hammer in the fact that it's got a ton of secret loading zones everywhere. We run through the snowstorm and buddy boost our way to a cave full of some yetis that murder us. So we do that again and then press E to go to the next area where Seth gets flattened by a rock, so we do that again too. We open a buddy door and Kate has some more evil headaches, but Michael Dell snaps her out of it and we jack into another stupid puzzle that I complete on the first try this time. We take the buddy door back outside and slide down to the skiff, but I'm not allowed to drive anymore because the game doesn't like me. Again. Don't do this to me. Fuck. Alright, you're driving. After finding out that we need to get under the ice, I'm allowed to drive again, and we set off to get some explosives to blast our way in. We press E to jump down into the mine and Seth's game crashes. So we restart and slide down into a breakable ice lake that we struggle through for a while before taking an elevator to an evil headache, and then a buddy door, and I swear we are actually having fun playing this game despite all these interruptions all the time. We take another buddy door into a tentacle hentai cave that we struggle through, until we collect the phosphorus to shove into the lake outside, because that sounds like a great idea. After opening the buddy door and getting back to the lake spot with no problems whatsoever...
Yep.
Little help here!
Hey Jack, bro, you wanna come do the thing you're meant to do? Go for? I guess not.
We shove the phosphorus into the lake and blow it up, which pretty much destroys the entire lake, but that's okay because there's a convenient slide that keeps us alive. Kate starts having another evil headache and we break some generators to get past some turrets. Michael Dell sticks his hand into a random hole and it bites him, so Kate wants to turn and opens the door and we meet Mr. House. Kate finds out that her grandmother was Princess Peach, leader of the Goomba Horde from the first few games, I'm pretty sure that's right, and starts having a nervous breakdown, but we decide to blackmail Mr. House into fixing our evil headaches. We get a good look at the Matriarch, a giant swarm monster that Mr. House says Kate needs to hook into, and Michael Dell correctly assumes that that's That's a terrible fucking idea, but they do it anyways. Kate has another evil headache, and Mr. House runs off because, surprise, surprise, the evil robot asshole betrayed us, which literally everyone but Kate knew was going to happen. The lab begins to freeze itself, but we manage to stop it and find out that the Matriarch escaped, so we take a buddy door to a room full of Goombas that we stomp on our way to find her. She finds us first, so we run away and fight some body snatchers until we get to a buddy door and she wanders in, but luckily she's literally blind and we manage to hide. We press E into the boss arena where Mr. House gets ripped in half because he was so annoying that even the Matriarch wanted him to shut the fuck up. We beat the Matriarch with absolutely no problems whatsoever.
Oh shit. You can't do any damage from the front. Fuck! Don't melee it.
Okay.
Why can't I swap weapons? You killed yourself.
Oh my god. Oh, no.
Ah! That grabbed me! Okay. Well, that didn't work. Finally.
And Kate reveals that her mom is definitely completely evil now, so we climb out of the ice hole and catch back up to Baird and Dave Bautista. A few weeks later, we fly into the desert and meet Paddock, who is apparently a Gears of War Judgment character, but I bet nobody remembers that game because it was terrible. Paddock and Baird fill us in that there's a Hammer of Dawn rocket somewhere in the desert, so Seth draws a dick in the sand.
Pure comedy.
And we set off to find it. JD and Foz pop in and Kate starts acting all melodramatic, but they're actually here to help us out and suddenly Foz isn't a dick anymore? When did that character development happen? We take a buddy door into another buddy door into the missile silo, where we find out that the missile isn't actually there, so we set off to reassemble it. We open another buddy door to open another buddy door to a room full of snipers that we struggle through, to a jack door that we defend for a little while until we're let into another buddy door. We begin reassembling the rocket's nose cone, but the rail gets stuck, so we buddy kick it back into place and are ambushed by guinea pigs that we murder, so we can continue the assembly. Then we're ambushed by Swarm, and then a couple of leech tornadoes, but Jack stood in the way of the rail and died, so we have to fight the leech tornado again. After restarting the rail, we all get out of the way to ensure that nobody dies again, but apparently Seth got back in the way and died, so now we have to fight the leech tornado again. After finally successfully attaching the second part of the nose cone, we move on to a buddy door and then press E to enter the next area where Seth gets stuck in the ground. We take another buddy door and murder some rocket scientists, so we continue following the nose cone until Sky forgets how doors work.
Back. Button.
I think that's the friendship door.
Push the button.
I can't.
It says
It doesn't let me interact with it. It says lock. But it's locked.
But yeah, but you unlock it, because you're Jack.
I can't! It doesn't give me anything to interact with! I can't interact with it.
What the fuck?
I don't know what you want me to do here.
I want you to open the door.
I can't open the door. There's nothing. There's no interaction.
Yeah, fix it. Okay.
Oh, that's a shotgun.
We take an elevator back to the buddy door, back to the exterior buddy door, so we can use the skiff to find the actual rocket part of the rocket. We take a buddy door into a train station and murder our way through some passengers, to another buddy door where we jack into some rocket controls and begin the reassembly sequence. We're on a tight timer to keep up to the train, so of course when I try to drive the skiff it bugs out and won't let me, so we have to try again. Seth crashes his way through a firestorm, and we blow up the bridge so the rocket doesn't just crash into it, and run off to get the skiff, but we're not allowed to drive until we kill everything in the area, so we run back to do that first. We take a buddy door inside a UIR facility to get some dubstep markers so that we don't repeat that whole rogue laser fiasco from earlier, and press E to go further inside. We hammer time our way through some goons, and Sky lifts some cranes for us until we take another buddy door into a centrifuge that gets faster and faster, and Seth decides it's a good idea to just stand in the way.
Oh god!
Did you not see the giant fucking ball?
I mean, I saw that, but my mind was like, okay, if I go in the trench, you know, it will hit me because I'm below the ball.
After buddy levering the centrifuge, it starts going even faster until it finally breaks itself apart on a tentacle monster. JD grabs a marker and we take a jack door that turns into a buddy door back to the first buddy door so we can skiff back to the airport. We drop Baird off a dubstep marker and the airport gets attacked, so we defend the area and step back out to save some nomads who got ambushed by guinea pigs. After saving everyone, we head back to the rocket to assemble and launch it. We take the buddy door from earlier back inside, and then the other one further inside, and then start the assembly procedure, but some tentacle monsters attack because nothing is allowed to go smoothly in this game. We realign the rocket because dropping a huge pot of a rocket and then using it is totally safe, and we ride the train to the launch zone. A tentacle monster attacks Michael Dell, but Foz sacrifices himself to save him. Oh, never mind, he's actually fine. We arrive at the launch zone and begin setting up the rocket, but the rocket starts to launch itself automatically while we're still in range, so we've got to bug out before it fries us to death. Kate falls down a ladder and the Kraken shows up to eat the rocket, so we ask it nicely not to do that. Somehow, a giant monster grabbing the rocket in an attempt to destroy it is also totally okay for the launch. We take an elevator downstairs, but the Kraken is still not done with us, so we kill some of its tongues until the rocket launches and cooks it for us. Paddock rescues us in the nick of time, but Foz gets trapped under the Kraken and dies in the launch. Just kidding, he's immediately saved and everyone's fine, okay. We fly back home and the shadows start bugging out in this cutscene, so I apologize for this next bit. Baird suggests we pick a target to fire on, and Dave tries to get Kate to remember where the swarm's hive might be, but regular head lady shows up to arrest them. Luckily, the swarm attacks at this exact moment, so everyone acts like a dick to this random dude who's just doing his job and goes out to fight.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
We escort Carmine down the street to plant his beacon and he dubsteps some swarm. We're ambushed by more swarm, but the coal train shows up in a giant mech to save us and help us to the next area. Doug Bowser shows up for revenge, so we run across the courtyard to plant another beacon to dubstep him, and then I kill myself with it, which resets us 5 minutes back. Oops. We run to help Paddock and push through a buddy door to a tomb, where we clear out some tourists and then set up the beacon to kill some guinea pigs, but I kill myself a few times instead.
I killed myself.
That's basically.
I thought I was far enough away from it, but apparently not.
Oh.
Seriously?
I fucking
help.
killed myself again. I thought I was
Oh, I'm
far enough
down.
away from the stupid laser.
Holy shit, a lot of pouncers!
What the fuck?
After finally not killing myself long enough to clear the area, we're attacked by leech tornadoes and the Kraken, and Queen Reyna shows up to taunt us and kill JD or Michael Dell, but we get to choose who to save, so of course I let the character that Seth's been playing for the entire game die, because I'll take any opportunity to kill my teammates. We fall down under some rubble and push off a buddy beam, but Kate gets crushed and starts freaking out until we're saved by a giant robot. We take a buddy door back outside to catch up to Dave Bautista with no problems whatsoever.
Seth, help! Seth, run!
Whoa! guys
Juvie
died.
exploded on us.
We press E to regroup with Dave, and he finds out that Michael Dell is dead, so he merges faces with JD, and Foz shows up to cry about Dell being dead too. We ride in the back of a truck and another Bowser shows up, so the coal train... Oh, wait.
Objective
I
Flight
died?
died.
Wait a minute, when did I die?
What? You died in the
Wait a
cutscene?
Weird things start happening.
Wait, what? Seth's not in the car!
I'm not in the car. I'm walking around on the ground.
Seth's way
What is
far away!
happening?
I'm under the map. How do you think it's next?
Sky, you broke the game!
The coal train jumps on Bowser and beats the shit out of him, because he's the coal train, baby.
You're goddamn home! Oh, when I said the fun part, I meant fun for the cold train, baby!
The Kraken attacks, but the coal train refuses to get eaten, so he jumps out of its mouth and it rips him in half, but I guess everyone forgot that the actual giant robot isn't coal, so he'll be fine. We ride the truck away from the Kraken back to safety and make our stand at Trump's border wall until the Kraken shows up again and we fight some more tongues. Seth gets on the railgun to shoot the Kraken, but takes too long and we have to restart the boss fight. The railguns aren't stopping the Kraken, and Kate tells Baird to fire the hammer without the guidance of the beacon, but Jack uses himself as a beacon and then sacrifices himself by flying into the Kraken's mouth and getting dubstep lasered to death.
Jack, no!
I did not consent to this hero sacrifice.
Jack is the best character! No!
Rest in peace, the best character in the game. Game over.